They warned you not to look too closely, to stop asking questions, to stay soft, kind, obedient, but you didn't listen. Now you're here. And once you see the truth, you can never go back. These 15 laws will show you the hidden levers behind every action, every word, every betrayal. They will make you powerful, but they will cost you something. Your illusions, your innocence, maybe even your soul. Humans are predictable. Not because they're stupid, but because they're emotional. Driven not by reason, but by pain, desire, fear, and masks. We call it society. But beneath the manners and smiles, it's war. And these 15 laws, they are your weapons. Use them or be used. Law number 1. The mask always lies. Every person you meet is wearing a mask. The charming voice, a polite smile, the innocent question, none of it is real. They're performing. Because the truth is dangerous, and most people are too fragile to survive without a costume. But the mask can't hide everything. Watch the eyes. Listen for the hesitation. Pay attention to what they don't say. The mask will lie, the body won't. Once you master this, no flattery, no sweet talk, no smile can deceive you again. Because you'll see people not as they pretend to be, but as they truly are. And it will make you impossible to manipulate. Law number 2. Self-interest always wins. They'll say it was love. They'll claim it was loyalty. They'll swear they did it for you. But look closer. Behind every action is a calculation, a hidden ledger, because at the core of every human being is self-interested. Even the generous give for a reason. Even the selfless serve to feel needed, valued, righteous. No one moves without a motive. This doesn't make them evil, it makes them human. Expecting anything else is why people end up betrayed, heartbroken, and confused. You trusted the words instead of reading the equation. From now on, ask, what do they gain if I believe this? What do they lose if I walk away? Because if you're not calculating, you're being calculated. And if you're not watching their interest, you are their interest. Once you see this law in action, you'll stop expecting loyalty from people who only showed up when it served them. Law number 3. Status controls everything. You think people respect intelligence, character, kindness? Wrong. They respect status. Every room you enter, every glance you receive, it's a silent ranking. Who's above, who's below, and everyone plays the game, even if they pretend not to. Compliments become weapons. Conversations become duels. A subtle flex, a quiet dismissal, a smirk instead of a nod. It's all code, and if you can't read it, you've already lost. Want power? You raise your status or you become invisible. Speak less, dress sharply, move with certainty. Make others feel just a little unsure around you. Because discomfort is influence, not by being loud, but by being undeniable. The truth? People follow those who look like they don't need to be followed. Once you stop begging for approval, you become the one they seek it from. Control the status game, or be quietly crushed by those who do. Law number 4. Emotions are contagious. Control them, or be infected. Emotions spread faster than facts. Fear, anger, confidence. They jump from one person to another like a virus, without permission, without logic. One angry man poisons the whole room. One confident voice silences doubt. And most people, they're just emotional mirrors, reflecting whoever stands in front of them. Leaders understand this instinctively. They choose their emotional state like armor. Calm in chaos, certain in doubt, unshakable, even when everything's on fire. Why? Because whoever controls the emotional tone controls the entire room. Want to be magnetic? Master your face, your tone, your pace. Make your calm louder than their panic. Make your presence feel like stability in a collapsing world, because people don't follow logic, they follow feeling. And if you can control how they feel, you control what they do. Law 5. Power is quiet. Neediness is loud. Real power doesn't announce itself. It doesn't explain. It doesn't beg to be understood. It walks in and the room adjusts. Not because it asked, but because it didn't need to. The loudest voice is rarely the strongest. The man who brags, pleads, over-explains, he's already lost. Because power isn't what you say. It's what others feel when you say nothing. Presence is posture. Authority is energy. And silence is often louder than speech. Most people wait for permission to be powerful. They want applause before they act. They want proof before they believe. But the world doesn't follow the timid. It follows conviction. Even if it's wrong, conviction leads, because most are desperate for someone to decide. Be that person. Speak less. Move with intent. And let others adjust themselves around you. If you want influence, stop chasing it. Become it. Law 6. The tribe is stronger than truth. People don't follow logic. They follow belonging. They'd rather be wrong with the crowd than right alone. Because deep down, we're wired for survival, not truth. And the tribe is safety. This is why people will betray their values to fit in. Why they'll echo lies, defend mistakes, and destroy outsiders. Not because they believe, but because they fear exile. If you threaten someone's tribe, they won't argue. They'll attack. Because to them, you're not challenging their belief. You're threatening their identity. Use this law to lead. Not with facts, but with unity. Give people a flag to wave, a cause to defend, a group to belong to. They'll do things for the tribe they'd never do for themselves. Divide your enemies, bind your allies. Make them feel like part of something unbreakable. And they'll stand by you, even when reason tells them not to. The truth doesn't move people. Tribe does. Law 7. Projection reveals the truth. People reveal more about themselves when they judge you than when they talk about themselves. The liar sees liars. The manipulator sees manipulation. The coward sees threats in every corner. They're not reading you. They're revealing them. Their accusations are confessions in disguise. Their paranoia is a mirror of their own mind. Most don't even realize they're doing it. They'll call you selfish while hiding their own agenda. They'll call you fake because they've forgotten what real even looks like. Don't react. Observe. Every insult, every suspicion, every outburst, it's data. It tells you what they fear, what they're hiding, what they hate in themselves. Use this. Their mind becomes a map, a cheat code to their behavior. Once you decode projection, you don't argue with people anymore. You read them. And stay 3 moves ahead. Law 8. Scarcity creates obsession. People don't value what's always available. They value what they think they're losing. Flood someone with your presence. They'll take you for granted. Pull away, and they'll chase shadows of you in silence. This is the law of scarcity. It turns the ordinary into the untouchable. It turns absence into power. Your time, your attention, your energy, treat them like gold. Not because you're playing games, but because you are the value. And value isn't given, it's sensed. A moment of mystery is more powerful than hours of exposure. A delayed reply can build more desire than 1,000 sweet words. Don't just show up. Disappear. Let them feel the void. Give a taste, then vanish. Speak less, and they'll hang on every word. The less they get, the more they want. You don't need to prove you're rare. Just stop being common. Law 9. Contradictions control the mind. People will do anything to avoid pain, even lie to themselves. They'll twist reality, defend what's broken, and stay loyal to what's destroying them, just to avoid admitting they were wrong. This is cognitive dissonance, the silent war inside the mind. It doesn't fight fair. It rewrites memory, logic, and even identity. You can't break someone by attacking them directly, but you can collapse their reality by exposing the cracks in their belief system. Find the contradiction, the thing they say that doesn't match what they do, the values they preach but never live. Shine a light there and watch their certainty fall apart. People don't change because they want to. They change because the pain of staying the same becomes unbearable. If you can control that friction, if you can make the lie obvious and the truth unavoidable, you control how they think, what they choose, who they become. Most people aren't living their truth. They're surviving their lies. Law 10. Flattery is a blade with honey on it. Compliments are not kindness. They are tools. They open doors faster than fists ever could. Even the strongest minds crave validation. Even the proudest hearts melt under praise. And even the most guarded soul has a weak spot. It just hasn't been sweetened properly yet. But don't flatter blindly, because flattery without intention is noise. Flattery with strategy, that's a weapon. Tell them what they secretly hope is true. Feed their self-image, not with lies, but with carefully framed truths. Make them feel seen, admired, understood, and you'll watch their defenses drop like dead weight. But don't overdo it. Too much sugar makes the meal suspicious. Balance praise with a hint of challenge. Enough salt to keep the flavor real. Respect builds when admiration feels earned. If they believe you admire them and respect them, they'll crave your approval more than anyone else's. Use compliments like keys. Unlock trust. Unlock access. Unlock obedience. Master this art, and people will beg for your words. Law 11. Fear obeys where logic fails. People don't follow rules, they follow threats. Fear bypasses thought. One whisper of danger can silence a room, halt a rebellion, or make the strongest submit. That's why rulers use it. That's why empires were built on it. And that's why you must master it. Not to harm, but to control outcomes. Don't bark threats, that's weak. Don't scream warnings, that's desperate. Real fear is planted subtly. A pause, a look, a sentence that never fully explains itself. A single line. You know what happens to people who cross that line. And their mind will do the rest. Because the imagination builds better prisons than reality ever could. But use fear sparingly. Too much, and people revolt. Too little, and they forget who you are. The secret is calibration. Fear should be just enough to make them think twice. Not freeze, submit, not panic, obey. The most powerful people don't raise their voice. They raise the stakes. Master fear, and people will police themselves for you. Law 12. Give to control, not to be kind. Humans are wired for reciprocity. You give, they feel obligated. Not out of love, out of debt. A favor, a gift, a compliment. These are not gestures. They are invisible chains. Tied not to the hand, but to the mind. Why do free samples work? Why do mafia bosses give before they ask? Because once someone accepts, they're owned. But here's the catch. Never give for free. Always give with precision. The right amount at the right time and for a reason. Give too little, and it's meaningless. Give too much, and you look weak. Give strategically, and you make others dance for you without realizing who's pulling the strings. The best manipulators don't demand loyalty. They create it by gifting small intentional pieces of value, then watching the other person try to balance the scales. Don't give to be liked. Give to be obeyed. Master this law, and people will repay you in favors, loyalty, and silence, long after they've forgotten what you even gave them. Law 13. The herd thinks for you if you let it. Humans crave certainty. When unsure, they look around. If everyone's running, they run. If everyone's silent, they stay silent. This is herd instinct, and it controls more of your choices than logic ever has. Social proof is the hidden dictator. We follow what seems popular, not what is right. It's why fake followers build real influence. Why staged applause triggers genuine standing ovations. Want to control people? Show them that others already believe. Create the illusion of momentum, and momentum becomes real. The crowd doesn't need a reason. It needs reassurance. This is why leaders seed testimonials, why cults grow fast, why trends explode overnight. You don't need to convince everyone. Just convince the first few loud enough. Then step back and let the herd infect itself. But beware, the herd that follows can also turn. Control the direction and you control the stampede. Lose control and you get trampled. Master the herd or be swallowed by it. Law 14. Control pain and you control everything. People fear pain more than they crave truth, more than they crave growth, more than they crave love. That's why they stay in toxic relationships, why they defend dead ideologies, why they choose easy lies over brutal clarity. Pain is the gatekeeper. The mind will warp reality just to avoid it. It will betray logic, ignore evidence, and embrace illusions. If it means staying comfortable, this is your power. If you offer relief from pain, they'll follow you. If you threaten to trigger it, they'll obey you. Not because they believe you, but because the alternative is suffering. To influence people, don't just present truth. Present escape. Give them a bridge from discomfort to comfort, and they'll walk it, even if it's made of lies. But never overplay it. Pain is powerful but unstable. Push too far and people snap. Not toward you, against you. Learn to balance pressure and relief. Tighten the vice, then loosen it. Repeat until they associate you with safety, even if you're the one who brought the pain. Master this law, and you'll guide behavior at its most primal level. Because in the end, the one who controls pain controls the game. Law 15. What they hide is what owns them. Every human carries a shadow, a craving they deny, a truth they fear, a secret they'd burn the world to protect. It's not what they say that gives them away. It's what they refuse to say. What makes their voice shift? What makes their eyes flicker? What makes them nervous when the subject changes? The strongest minds are not the ones with no darkness. They're the ones who own it. But most, they bury it. Under smiles, status, morality. That's where you come in. If you can spot the forbidden desire, if you can name what they've never admitted, even to themselves, you own them. Tempt them with it, threaten to reveal it. Mirror it back to them until they see you as the only one who understands. This is how seduction works. This is how control begins. Not with force, but with recognition. You see their hidden self, and they become addicted to the feeling of being known. But be warned, what you awaken in them will awaken in you. Their darkness is a reflection of your own, and once you learn to use it, you can never go back. This law isn't about people, it's about power. Because what people hide controls them. And if you hold the key to that secret, you hold them. The truth is, no mask ever stays on forever. Pressure peels it off. Power strips it bare. And time exposes everything. So while the world plays pretend, smiling, bowing, nodding, the real players are studying the cracks. They're watching for the twitch in the eye, the forced laugh, the overreaction to an innocent question. Because beneath every reaction is a reason, and beneath every reason is a secret. The insecure crave validation, the guilty overcompensate, the jealous try to control. And once you see that, you're no longer part of their game. You're writing the rules. But here's the twist most never survive. The deeper you go into others, the more you confront yourself. Your own shadow starts whispering. Old wounds resurface. That thing you denied, repressed, locked away. It stares back at you through someone else's breakdown. This is why most people run. They peek into darkness and recoil. They see what's in them, not just others. But not you. If you've made it this far, you're not here to play safe. You're here to see, to strip illusion, to stare into the soul, theirs and yours, and not flinch. That's what makes you powerful. Not manipulation, not tactics, not dominance, but the rarest form of control, self-awareness. Because when you know your own darkness, no one can weaponize it against you. You can't be shamed, you can't be tricked, you can't be controlled. The final law isn't just about mastering others. It's about mastering the mirror. And once you do, you become unshakable. Not because you're pure, but because you're whole. So now the game is yours. You know the laws. You've seen the masks. You've walked the shadows. Use this power, shape the world, but never forget. The moment you lie to yourself, even for comfort, even for survival, the game doesn't just reset. You become the pawn again. Stay awake, stay ruthless, and if this video opened your eyes, you know what to do. This isn't a place for the faint-hearted. This is for those building the mind of a weapon, the will of a machine, and the soul of a storm. Subscribe and step into the dark horse zone.